talk about the Monday Night Football matchups tonight, fantasy football, what exactly we got in these adult beverages here.
So we do have some adult beverages, like I mentioned. This is the good old Crown Royale Peach variant with some Arizona Mucho Mango. This stuff is nectar of the gods, beautiful Arizona, always clutch. And then, of course, supplied by Crown Royale. Let us know what y'all are sipping on today. As of now, I got none of y'all in there, but I'm sure some of y'all will pop in. So you watched from here, right, yesterday?
Yeah, I was tempted to go out to Hooters. Like you invited me out to Hooters in Boca, with you and Joe and Manon, and I was tempted, but then at the same time I was like, I'm not excited for the game.
I was so not excited for the game. Like, I had such a good time watching the 1 o'clock games, especially how my fantasy teams were doing. Like, I was projected at the end of the first slot of games, I was projected to go undefeated in now 8 leagues. This time last week, sitting in these chairs, I was in one other league. That is no longer the case. And you are also in one less league. We bowed out together.
Yeah, and now we're in 7 leagues together rather than 8. Actually, no, we're in 6. We're in 2 less leagues together. Because I got eliminated from yours and you got eliminated from Andy's.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't need so many fantasy football leagues, so it is weird. It was a blessing in disguise almost getting eliminated. It also, like, I've never done this with football before. I've never exited a fantasy football league before the season ended, or at the very least before the playoffs started. So I'm watching Justin Fields. No, Justin Fields was actually a different league. I'm watching Gardner Minshew. I'm watching Najee Harris. I'm watching guys that I had in that league, and I go to start to root for them. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have to. I don't have to root for them anymore. Arsenal, what up, brother? Tell me how your fantasy teams are doing. Tell me what you're sipping on tonight, if you are sipping on anything. 1 o'clock games was projected to win all my fantasy matchups. Was a much happier person because the Miami football Dolphins had yet to play and looked like the literal worst team in the league. So I was a much happier person at 3:59 p.m. on Sunday.
Yeah, see, it's funny enough, I had Najee in the league I got eliminated from too. So
Wow, almost as if he sucks at playing football.
it really does. And then so, goddamn dog.
What up, Lion Syndicate? What up, Grid?
What up, Grid?
We hate the Miami Dolphins. Yeah. I mean, I was more happy about that title than you were.
It was just whatever.
I'm fully prepared to come on here and just say how the Miami Dolphins are maybe the 32nd best team in the NFL. I mean, how we played yesterday, can we beat anybody in the NFL? I mean, the Panthers, Andy Dalton, 300 yards, 3 or 4 touchdowns. Like, what are we talking about? The New York Giants beat the Browns, really good defense. Tennessee Titans, if Will Levis just wasn't bad at football, they are probably a playoff team. The Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams is getting better each week. Defense is really good. Is there any team in the league we could beat with that performance yesterday?
With that performance yesterday, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
And I told you, we have to go. It would have to be a team that has like kind of a suspect offense with a bad defense.
Us? Defense isn't bad, but like
No,
us.
I agree because our defense. We talked about this a little bit earlier. And by a little bit, I mean like 2 text messages. Take the absolute under on anything in the game on Monday.
Oh my gosh, Tennessee money line is sounding really good.
It's not even the money line. Under on points, under yards, because Levis is terrible at football. But then again, so is Tim freaking Boyle.
You think it's still gonna be Boyle?
I think it'll be Snoop.
Okay, I'm about to say I think it's 1,000,000% Tyler Huntley, and I think we are 1,000,000% better off with him playing quarterback. I don't know if we'll actually be a good football team with him because, oh dear God, everything was wrong with everything yesterday. I made a 12-minute video and I barely talked about the game. I was so frustrated on just the things that are wrong every single week that were still wrong yesterday. Talking about the timeouts, talking about they just not being able to get the play call off, talking about just how infuriated I am with Mike McDaniel, and I genuinely think he is seriously on the hot seat going forward for the rest of the season. And I think last year there was murmurs last year that he would have been fired, and I think that would have been pretty ludicrous to do so, especially the last 2 seasons he had just had. But with how he managed yesterday, I went into yesterday saying This is such a big moment for Mike McDaniel to be able to prove how good of a coach he is, and I could not have been more disappointed if he tried. If he tried, because, I mean, look at y'all saw the thumbnail when y'all clicked on this. Dear God. I mean, dude was just pathetic on the sideline. He looked like a little child moaning and complaining the entire time.
I mean, I was moaning, complaining the entire time too. I texted at the very beginning of the game. I think it was like still halfway through the first quarter, and I'm like, the Dolphins are playing like complete abysmal ass, and I'm like,
what a phrase that was.
Exactly. That's how bad they were playing. But then I was like, somehow the refs were worse.
Don't Donovan.
Hold up.
Don't start with the refs.
I'm not. At no point am I blaming the refs for anything that occurred in that game other than stalling one or two drives, if stalling is even a thing. And
if we even had drives.
Exactly. Because we had plenty of opportunities throughout that entire game, and it was nothing but shoot yourself in the foot, turnover. Did we have a turnover? I don't even know.
Turnover on downs, maybe?
I think
turnover on downs. That's literally it.
We went for a field goal. It was a 57-yarder.
Jason Sanders is also he's back to 2 years ago, Jason Sanders. Like, last year, Jason Sanders was at the time back to 2 years ago from then, Jason Sanders. Now he's at 2 years from 2 years ago today, Jason Sanders.
Let him get warmed up.
Dude!
I know.
He's a bottom 10 kicker in the NFL right now. Like,
at least he's better than Justin Tucker.
Yeah. But Justin Tucker has full-on earned the ability to miss kicks, all right? He's arguably the greatest kicker of all time. Like, the kicks that he has made in his career, like, he has earned that right. Jason Sanders has absolutely not. He is a bottom 10 kicker in the league right now, and bottom 10 coach. Bottom 10, literally, we scored the least amount of points in the NFL after scoring the most amount of points last year. Awful in the red zone, yes. Awful with penalties. I'm sitting here with zero reason to be optimistic as a Dolphins fan going forward. I've talked more about the Dolphins already than I intended to.
I understand, but so it does come to a head. Like, we were talking about Mike McDaniel a little bit, and I said last offseason that his play calling needs to improve, or he needs to give it up, and it has not improved whatsoever.
Nope.
It's like, so for instance, we can go back to the Bills game, and I hate to even do this, but just like, it's a reference point. So the interception that was thrown when it was intended for Robert Chosen Anderson.
Robertson,
because you suck at football. We talked about that route being run 1,000 times in this offense. But then again, every single team has seen that same exact route. If us Dolphins fans are able to see, oh, that's a route that we've ran at least twice a game for the last 20 games, then guess what? So are these NFL defenses. They're coming prepared. So when you're not expanding your offense, and the lack of attacking the field or attacking downfield this season has really just been mind-boggling.
Well, everyone just has to play cover two. I mean, Mel Kiper was complaining about it, which is stupid that someone would
Mel Kiper's
begin to say something along the lines of banning cover two. Like, how do you ban where people can stand on the field? Regardless, all you have to do is play cover two against us. That's literally it. A zone defense messes up our timing so much. You don't play man against us. Play a cover two shell all game long, and we have nothing. You know, the Seattle Seahawks. Like, I was talking about their OC a little bit in the preview about what he did with Washington and what he's done now. The Seahawks, a lot of 3 wide receiver sets. They've looked more more pass heavy so far.
What does a 3 wide receiver set look like?
What do you mean?
Because Dolphins don't run it. We don't have 3 wide receivers out there. I would love. I talked about one of the free agents I wanted last year was Jawan Jennings. What is Jawan Jennings doing his one game to shine?
Is he starting in your fantasy league?
He is starting in a couple of my fantasy leagues. Yes.
The one you were playing me. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. But getting back on point, I was singing his praises in the preview. I didn't see anything from him that would describe him as one of the best offensive coordinators in the league. Definitely one of the best new offensive coordinators in the league because he didn't have to. If I had to see Noah Fant run 5 yards and then 1 yard one way or the other and just catch the ball and fall down, if I had to see that one more time, I was killing somebody. Because that's all they had to do. Run in a straight line, stop, turn one of the directions you have a choice of, ball is there. I mean, dear God. And then the one time where, for some reason, Javon Holland says, you know what, I'm going to be right here now. Instead, DK said, I'm going to be over here now. We didn't ask them to do anything special on offense or on defense. Yes, they're 3-0. They're not going to be on top of the NFC West when the season comes to an end. There's too many good teams in that division for them to be on top of the NFC West. All right, they're a good team. They're an improved football team. They'll probably make the playoffs as a wild card. But dear Lord, they did nothing. Yes, we are drowning our sorrows. Yes, we are. Cap for life. What's going on?
What's
we
up,
are.
Cap?
Oh, dear God, can anybody give me an explanation for why we're not the worst team in football? Give me one good reason for why we're not the worst team in football today.
I swear to God, if anybody comes in here with the backup QB excuse, Malik Willis, backup quarterback. Sam Darnold, backup quarterback. There was a couple others. Let's see.
Talk to him. He's got nothing left. That's okay. Andy freaking Dalton. Balling with and without a budget. Just straight up balling.
I think there was another backup quarterback that won this week.
Daniel Jones? Oh, no, he's actually the starter still somehow. Unbelievable. Bro, the Rams with me at wide receiver, some dude whose hair is down to his waist, right? God knows who he is. Jordan Whittington, I think it is. Who has heard of him before you watch a fantasy football this year telling you why he's going to be the greatest wide receiver of all time, right? DeMarcus Robinson, who is low-key 40 years old, didn't even know that, thought he was a third-year player. Oh, my God, he's 30 years old, right? The Rams completed a 17-point comeback because they're well-coached. They have a great quarterback. Their defense sucks. Their offensive line sucks. They have a good running game. They have a good quarterback, and they have a great coach. They have great quarterback, great coach, good to great running back, and they just figured it out. We never figure it out. We never just take a look at the situation at hand and be like, you know what? Okay, this is what we're going to do. We have to play a little bit separate to our identity. We have to play a little bit separate to our game plan. This is what we're going to do. Zero adjustments. I've never seen a Mike McDaniel adjustment mid-game work. Ever.
That's why I was saying this past offseason that he needs to. He potentially needed to give up play calling. Now I'm full on into it. He needs to just give up play calling. It's that simple because look, his plays, they work. He has great play design. Now, I think he stalled a little bit on that. I don't think he's expanded the playbook in 2 years, or at least, it didn't expand last year as much as I wanted it to. And then this year, all I've seen, have you seen more than maybe 3 throws past 15 yards?
Have I seen an offense that I believe even Mike McDaniel is the play caller? Where has all of this ingenious? Where has all these beautiful route combinations gone? Where has just scheming people wide open all over the field? Are you OC? Were you calling plays yesterday?
Honestly,
were you quarterback yesterday?
There's not many times that I would go out on a limb and say I could probably do better. I could have probably done better.
Look.
You give me that playbook and tell me go wild with the playbook and call plays. I probably could have called a better game and better adjustments than what happened yesterday.
Look, every Friday we go play football. This last Friday, this gentleman right here to my side did not join us, but I played some quarterback and look. Your boy was slinging. All right, we were slinging that rock. We undefeated. We play every single Friday at a park near us. Right, back-to-back weeks. I am undefeated. Right, I am 4-0 in all the games of football I've played. This time I got to play a lot more quarterback. I was dicing it up right there. Why is Tim Boyle in the NFL? Why is Tim Boyle in the NFL? Look this up yesterday because I forgot. I need to remind myself of the stats, right? When he went to the University of Connecticut, right? How many touchdowns do you think he threw in his 3 seasons with the University of Connecticut? How many touchdowns do you think he threw?
Why did he only play 3 seasons? I thought he was a 5th year.
He was because he transferred, right? But it is just his time at the University of Connecticut. How many touchdowns did he have?
20.
1.
Wait.
How
How
many-
is he in the NFL?
3 years. Hey, wait. Jacob. How much did he play? Of course he didn't play that much because he's trash. But he played enough to throw 1 touchdown. But how many interceptions, Donovan, did he throw in that time?
I think I remember this. 11.
13.
13. I was close. I knew it was double digits.
His first stop in college, he had 1 touchdown and 13 interceptions. Well, Jacob, did he then transfer to another school and get any better? I'm pretty sure it wasn't Eastern Washington. I think it was Eastern Kentucky, Western Kentucky, something along those lines. Jacob, did it get better? It did get better, Donovan. You know what? It actually did get better. You know what it was? I'm pretty sure his touchdown interception ratio, I think it was 12 touchdowns and 16 interceptions.
Oh, that's a lot better.
So the ratio's better, but this is a man who in college... This is a man in college that's playing professional football that had a 2-to-1 interception to touchdown ratio. I have so many gripes with Mike McDaniel right now, right? Can we just talk about that? Our quarterback decision-making process of who we let on the team? We knew Skylar Thompson wasn't that good. Dear Lord, he's bad. Because Tim Boyle looked better than him. Tim Boyle looked better than Skylar Thompson. Skylar Thompson's been in this offense for 3 years. He was a 7th-round draft pick after his preseason where everyone was saying he's the greatest quarterback of all time. He's going to replace Tua as the starter, right? Tim Boyle was better than him yesterday. A man who threw twice as many interceptions and touchdowns in college, who should not be in the NFL. Who the only reason he's in the NFL is because somehow he befriended Aaron Rodgers a few years ago and he said, you know what, he looks good. All right, cool, he's our backup quarterback now. He played for the Jets last year. Do you remember what we did to him on the Jets last year?
I do remember Holland, 106-yard pick six.
Bro, we almost made him do what Caleb Williams did after he lost that game last year. Go up and cry to his parents in the stands, right? Yeah. Probably what was going to happen to him afterwards because how bad he played, because of how bad he is. He has zero right to be in the NFL, and yet he's still in the NFL, and he played better than Skylar Thompson.
I'm not going to disagree with you at all because Skylar Thompson played like absolute donkey cheeks. But while we're on the subject of backups playing better than the starters, where was Tyreek Hill yesterday? Where was Tyreek Hill?
Oh, you didn't hear he got arrested?
Oh, was that the reason he was there?
And he had another kid.
Oh, and he had another kid? Because I'm pretty sure D. Eskridge had more yards than him. Who is D. Eskridge?
Bro, D. Eskridge? Bro, he's a 2nd-round pick for the Seahawks. He got drafted higher than Tyreek Hill. Therefore, he is better than Tyreek Hill. Chris Greer. I don't know. I just want to say his name. Don't like him either now.
I've always given Chris Greer the benefit of the doubt because the way he chooses to kind of like construct the team and like the way he handles money is very, very well. He has not drafted O-linemen well.
Or even just drafted them.
He did go a couple of drafts where he selected pretty much all O-linemen. And then, he did get a hit with Tunsil. He did get a hit with Robert Hunt. And honestly, it looks like Patrick Paul might be a hit. But too early to tell.
He hasn't played. Barely at all.
He played 1 snap and looked good. Let me be delusional, folks. Stop it.
Sorry, I just remembered we played football yesterday.
But honestly, I texted you at one point. I'm not sure if you saw it or not because you're just in full on depression, as was I. But I said Teron Armstead might be our 3rd worst left tackle. I think Kendall Lamb might be better, and I think Patrick Paul at this point might be better. Like, he was just getting beat in pass protection so much. Now, run blocking, he was fine. He was good. But pass protection, he only played 20 snaps, but he looked awful. Last game, he looked awful. Now, could it be the shoulder injury? Sure, we can blame it on the shoulder injury. But why is he out there playing then? If he's not the best lineman on that field, why is he playing?
How did he get an eye injury?
I guess he got poked in the eye. He also got a concussion. He's in concussion protocol. He came back in after the eye injury. He was cleared for a concussion. I guess he must have gotten like poked in the eye or something and like really hard.
Gage, a little bit of Crown Peach and some Mucho Mango Arizona. I don't even know what's Mucho Mango. I might have just made that up. But Mango Arizona is Mucho Mango. Boom. Teron Armstead bad, indeed very bad. The Miami Dolphins have abandoned the morals of football, and they have said like okay, you know what? We don't need first gear. We don't need second gear. We don't need third gear. We need fourth gear. We need the only gear I want in my car is fifth gear. We can run the ball for the first 2 first downs. We can run the ball after that and nothing. And then we're going to abandon it. And then play action doesn't work because nobody actually trusts our ability to throw the ball. So even if they still stack the line because of the run game picking up, it doesn't matter because, one, they know we're eventually going to abandon it when we get scared, and they still don't respect our ability to throw the ball downfield. We are so not physical. It is disgusting. We get thrown around both sides of the ball. There's no toughness. There's no grit. And in the middle of there being no toughness, no grit, the camera pans to little boy Mike McDaniel on the sideline. What? There is no command. There is no respect that Mike McDaniel is given when he's on the sideline like, Grid, I don't know if you're still watching. If Dan Campbell walks over to a ref, he's a little scared. That ref is a little scared, all right? He knows that Dan Campbell's not going to murder him on the spot, even though he could. The ref knows this man is letting me be alive right now because Dan Campbell could walk over and rip that ref's head off if he so chooses. But he's a good person. He's a composed person. He's a smart person. So he's not going to do that. On top of the fact, it's a little illegal to rip people's heads off. But if you see Dan Campbell walking up to you, unless you're me, all of 6'6", 250, you're like, and he probably could kill me, all right? But at least I have a little bit more of a fair chance. Most people, you see Dan Campbell right next to you, you're like, dear God, this man can kill me if he wants to, but wow, he's a really sweet guy. I love him, right? Mike McDaniel is a nerdy guy that is on the couch at parties who got a little too high, and he's a little he's just a little too paranoid. And everyone's like, hey, Mike, it's okay. Hey, Mike, it's okay. Mike, you don't have to be scared. Mike, it's okay. He's the person like in the friend group that like should be going to the gym, but he's not. You know what I mean? Like he should be searching for a better job, but he's not. Right? You look at him and you just don't take him serious. Right? You like him. At his best, you know he can do better. You see something in there that he can do better, but he's just not doing it. Play calling, terrible. The way that he runs his offense, beyond the play calling, the identity of the offense is
little too animated.
I'm gonna strangle somebody.
Little too animated there, bud.
Strangle somebody. The way he runs his offense is so backwards. He's trying to outsmart the room. He thinks he's the smartest guy in the league because he knows how to make a guy from the right side go on the right side of the field to the left side of the field before the ball snapped. All he knows how to do is have people run around before the play is snapped and then run downfield. And you know what? That worked for about a year. And now every team's like, all right, you see our safeties here, 15 yards from the line of scrimmage? Let's make them 25 yards from the line of scrimmage. You see our linebackers 5 yards from the line of scrimmage? Let's put them 7 yards from the line of scrimmage. And we have had zero response to that because we can't run the ball. We have no short gain in the passing game. Defenses don't respect our offense anymore because the simplest thing to do is say, hey, guys, we're right here. Let's move right here. And the Dolphins' offense is cooked.
What's really irritating about, besides all of that, is that we were able to run the ball on the Seahawks. We were averaging over 5 yards a carry. But somehow, some way, we had a 3-to-1 pass-to-run ratio. We had 5 carries and 21 passes. Actually, that's a 4-to-1. Sorry, math. So for every 4 passes we threw, we ran the ball. We were averaging 5 yards a carry. Why are we not helping our backup quarterback with run? Look at what we did when Skyler started in the Bills game. His stats, ass. He had no good stats in that game. But we almost won that game. You want to know why? Because we ran the ball and we got defensive turnovers and we had great field position. You know what we did in this game? We got 2 turnovers and we almost averaged the freaking ball in between the 40-yard line every time. I think we had bad field position one time, and that bad field position was at like the 20. And that was after a touchback. Like every other time we had the ball at the 40, at the 45, at the 50, on their 45. Like, for crying out loud, we had a turnover on the 30-yard line, and we kicked a field goal.
And miss.
No,
Or is that the one we made? Oh, okay, that one we made.
That one we made.
I thought he was gonna miss. The way
Oh,
everything was going.
that one was a 30-something yarder.
I stand by what I said. I thought he was gonna miss.
Whatever.
Dude, the way everything had gone up to that point, like you just said, we got a turnover on their side of the field, right? We intercepted on the 4. Didn't we kick it from the 5? Like 3 plays, -1 yards. I'm pretty sure. Could have made that up. But regardless, you come away with 3 points there. I'm tired of yelling. I'm getting frustrated for no reason. The Dolphins just continues to let me down. I hate that. 28's coming.
I'm gonna talk about
28's coming.
No, it's not. I'm gonna talk about one more thing before we can move on to the next subject. At the very beginning of the game, I believe it was our first drive actually. We had a first down with Achane, and then Jalen Wright pops off a 9-yard run. Looked like an 11-yard run. Got horse tackled out of bounds. Looked like a bad spot on the field. Terrible no call, and I mean terrible no call. Mike McDaniel, as a play caller, needs to have the emotional balance,
The wherewithal
to be able to be like, okay, I'm going to complain to him after I get this play call in. Because he got the play call in late. The next play was a whole mess. We couldn't get 1 yard on the next 3 plays. And that's when he missed the 57-yarder, was because we ended up not being able to get 1 yard. That's when we had 4th and 1, and they're like, oh, why'd you kick a field goal instead of going for it? And it's because I don't trust my team.
Why do we have to be born down here, right? Like my dad's from New York. My grandparents are from Indiana and New York.
Oh yeah, because you'd be much better off as a Jets fan.
Upstate New York, I'd be a Bills fan. Yeah.
I mean, still,
I'll take losing in the AFC Championship game every other year. Otherwise, losing in the AFC divisional round.
Divisional round mostly.
You go back and forth between losing in the AFC division and the AFC Championship game. Right now, I take that existence because I've seen us win 0 playoff games in my life. 0. I've seen the Panthers get to the Super Bowl. The Cardinals got to the Super Bowl. The Jets have gotten to the AFC Championship game twice. What's another pathetic organization right now? I've seen the Giants win 2 Super Bowls.
Giants won 2 Super Bowls.
Who else is a pathetic organization?
Patriots.
They're not a pathetic organization.
They are a pathetic organization right now.
They're a pathetic team now.
No, right now.
No, they won 6 Super Bowls.
You ask Jay right now. Are the Patriots a pathetic organization? He hates Robert Kraft. He hates Gerard Mayo. He hates the Jacoby Brissett. He hates the entire organization. And he's a Patriots fan.
I wish I had the luxury to hate my team after they won me 6 Super Bowls. I wish I had the luxury to point at what's going wrong with a team after they deliver me 6 Super Bowls. I wish I could look at my owner and say, dang, he's not doing good enough. I wish I could look at the new head coach that was brought in and be like, you know what, I don't know if he's good enough. I wish I could look at the bridge quarterback and be like, I don't know if he's good enough. I wish I could look at the rookie quarterback and think, I don't know if he's good enough after my team won 6 Super Bowls. Winning heals a lot of pain, and like the Patriots fans are dealing with something they haven't had to deal with in a very long time. Some fans have never had to deal with the Patriots out Brady, the Patriots out Belichick, right? So this is a very different life for them.
Little bit of breaking news: Javon Hargrave partially tore his triceps and will be out for the season.
Yeah, I need those triceps.
Yeah, that goes along. That's for Kyle Shanahan. So that's amongst all the other injuries that the 49ers have. And they lost to the Rams. That was one team that we talked about that the Dolphins might have been able to beat. Not the 49ers, the Rams.
We thought about it.
Then they beat the 49ers. I'm like, yeah, never mind.
Nope. Okay. Panthers won. Rams won. Giants won. Commanders have a chance to do something crazy tonight. They have a chance to do something absolutely crazy tonight.
If the Commanders win tonight, we can beat the Bengals.
All right, so that's our stream, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to like, subscribe. Have a great rest of your day. Go Dolphins. No. Joe Burrow would walk up and down the field.
Joe Burrow is not the one I'd be concerned about. It'd be like Zach Moss, Chase Brown. Our run defense is what's kind of
Their offensive line sucks, and their defense sucks, so that is what would keep us in that game. The Bengals The Bengals have done a very similar thing that we are doing. They have abandoned their principles. They've abandoned the principles of football. But you can do that when you have a top 6 quarterback in the NFL. At worst, probably top 6. Well, how he's playing might be actually worse than that. But like a consensus top 8 quarterback in the NFL, you can do that. When you have Jamar Chase, when you have T. Higgins, when you had Joe Mixon, and when you have a coach that we think's good, but he hasn't
Dolphins legend Zach Taylor.
Yes, he hasn't had to earn his stripes. Oh wait, say the same thing about Mike McDaniel. He hasn't really had to prove himself too much, and now he's getting a chance to prove himself, and look how he's doing. Bengals are always this bad at the beginning of the season, so it's just kind of foregone conclusion that they start the season 0-2, and as long as Joe Burrow's hand doesn't fall off, they'll probably make the playoffs. So the Commanders have a chance to do something absolutely hilarious tonight, and I hope, but I already know it is going to be the case. I hope it is without Mr. Brian Robinson doing well tonight.
Brian Robinson's going to run all over that trash defensive line.
Pull it up, Donovan. We got this ready to go.
About time.
So wait, actually, before you pull up, for context, our main dynasty league, because God knows we are in plenty of dynasty leagues, plenty of fantasy football leagues in general, way too much for the everyday person to be doing. We are in multiple leagues together, and we are playing in our main league, I'd go as far to say, of all the leagues, but especially of the dynasty leagues. We are playing each other, right? I'm undefeated coming into this matchup. He should be undefeated coming into this matchup. If Saquon Barkley could take 2 hands and put it around the football and run forward, he would have won.
Saquon.
Love you, Saquon. Actually, really, I love you, Saquon.
No, because Saquon cost you that league too.
He cost me in a different league, but no, I love him. I love him so much.
Saquon cost me 3 leagues. 3 leagues last week. 3.
Who do you hate more, Saquon or the Dolphins?
Saquon.
Really? If I was in your shoes, I'd say the Dolphins. I freaking love Saquon Barkley right now, dude. You are going to win me some money, son. All right. I've looked at some of my elimination brackets, like in Underdog. I'm doing pretty good in some of them, dude. I'm like, I don't want to get off track before we go to what we were just talking about, but I'm actually doing pretty good in some of my elimination Underdog best ball drafts. But as I'm mentioning, as he's now going to check whether his teams are doing piss poor or not, because he probably drafted Amari Cooper 17 times, and he finally goes off last week, but what he did the previous 2 weeks, good Lord, Tyrone Tracy and Amari Cooper not getting it done for you, son. As I mentioned, we are playing each other this week, and let's just take a look at that. Can I scroll on here? I cannot. Of course I can't. So you all can see the score top of the screen. What?
I can scroll here.
Okay. Okie dokie. So you see the score on the screen, 113.9. This gentleman here to my left, your right, to 143.93. All my players are done. You see Patrick Mahomes could have done a little bit better, could have done a little bit worse. We settle with what? Dear God, did he get exactly his projected? Or that's just his final score. That's weird how they say it like that. He got 17.3, could have done better, could have done worse. Saquon Barkley, blessing from God, that 70-yard touchdown run. So, but my guys are finito. This young man, if you would like to scroll down to the players you have going on tonight, pass by Rashee.
By the way, God bless you, Rashee.
I was going to say, please just pass on Rashee Rice, because did the Atlanta Falcons forget he was on the field? He was just open, albeit, yes, like for mostly 5 to 8 yard gains. He was just open all day. They're triple covering
12 of 14.
They're triple covering geriatric Travis Kelce over on the other side of the field. Meanwhile,
I was muted the whole time.
Meanwhile, the 20-something-year-old wide receiver who clearly Patrick Mahomes has a good connection with, you leave him wide open. Meanwhile, the ghost of Taylor Swift on the other side of the field is just bumbling, rumbling, stumbling his way across the field. You still triple team him. Meanwhile, Rashee Rice is just scooting around the joint. So, yeah, 29.1 points. I was not happy about that. But we have 2 people left today. That is Mr. Brian Robinson and Mr. Brian Thomas Jr. A couple of the Bryans. You're still muted.
The Bryans, bro. The Bryans will lead me to the promised land. Before we get into that, I want to show you guys something.
Oh, yeah. Who's on your bench? Jawan. Oh, wow, Jawan Jennings. Why didn't you start him, bro? He was obviously going to do good.
I meant to start him over Brian Thomas Jr., but you know what? That's just a sign. Brian Thomas Jr. is going to do better than Jawan Jennings.
Dog, you didn't get the notification about his ankle?
I did. It says
It's gone.
110%.
It's gone.
110%. Good to go. Ready to run over Buffalo.
Let's go, Buffalo.
Screw you.
Buffalo, please guard Brian Thomas. I don't know how to make that one rhyme. Both the Bryans. Look, so we had a little bit of a gentlemanly back and forth reverse jinxing. He hit me with the GGs yesterday, even though like it was like 4:00.
It was like 3:50.
Saquon.
I hit it after that Saquon touchdown.
Yeah. So today I hit him back with the reverse GGs. And I hit him with the "you deserve to win." He's like, whoa. No, I already said GGs. No, I said I already added on top of that. And then what I did before that was I went to, not sponsored, but please sponsor us, Underdog. Went over and bet the over on Brian Robinson. Actually, I went on Sleeper first. Went and did Brian Robinson over 58.5 rushing yards, I believe it is, and Brian Thomas over 3.5 or 4.5 receptions. Cover my bases. If you got to come back by what? Scroll all the way back up. How many points do you need tonight?
I need 30.04 to win.
30.03. How'd you get a 4 from a 3?
04 to win.
Oh, to win.
To win.
Okay, fair enough. So,
04 to win.
Keep going.
And honestly, like, I thought I was completely out of it until I did the math there, and I'm like, wait, that's only 15 apiece. You know what's funny? If you look at the averages,
your mic just went off, son.
What's funny, if you look at the averages for these two players, Brian Robinson is averaging 16.25 points per game. Brian Thomas Jr. is averaging 13 points per game. You add them together, 29 points.
I'm okay with that. As long as that first number, if their combined number starts with a 2, hey, I hope you get as much points for. All right, I hope I beat you by 0.01. All right, you're not gonna shake my hand? Okay, fair enough. I just won because you another instance of you being rude. That's just crazy. I'm gonna win.
I'm not being rude.
I hit you with the GGs. You deserve it. So I one upped you. Therefore, you're ruder. Therefore, I win. So again,
not how that works.
so like I said, I one-upped him on the GG, said you deserve it. Then I went and bet. Then he showed me his ticket that he already bet. I'm like, okay, bet. Guess you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go bet on an entirely different app that on Sleeper, or went from Sleeper to Underdog, saying the exact same bet pretty much, or whatever you sent me. I just did the opposite. So
yeah,
now I have 2 bets. Then I went to the group chat and said, you know what, son, you deserve it. GGs. I can't believe I'm 2-1. I can't believe I'm not undefeated anymore. So, bro, congratulations on your win.
Congratulations on
your win. No. Congratulations on your win. Bro, you deserve it, dude.
You deserve this win. Bro, you have a far superior team.
No.
It's just what it is.
No, the Dolphins were so mean to you.
I can say you have a far superior team because I have Trey McBride. I have Brandon Ayuk. I have Tyreek Hill, Saquon, Breece,
Tyreek Hill, 7 points.
I have every single one of your players in other leagues starting.
I should have started Adam Thielen, which is words I never thought I was going to say.
Over who? Jerome Ford?
That's who actually.
Pollard?
I was actually considering between him and I was genuinely considering Thielen over Ford, and like it's not that big of a difference, but it would have made the difference ultimately.
I mean, the biggest difference for me would have been Brian Thomas and Juwan Jennings.
It's not like he scored 45 points.
46.
Oh, yeah, I was right. 46 points. I mean, that'd be really good in your starting lineup. What would that put you at right now? More points than I have. That's what that would put you at.
Yes, and I would still have Brian Robinson playing tonight as well.
Guys, bro, you hit it on the freaking head. You should have done that.
I should have done that.
We're going to be going to Ale House later tonight to watch the games that are starting very soon. So we're not going to be.
Ooh.
What?
Shanahan said Christian McCaffrey is seeing a specialist in Germany about his lingering Achilles tendonitis issues.
Sorry.
Dog. What is wrong?
He's going to Germany to specialist on the gang. I think it's messed up.
Yeah. So, and Jordan Mason owners out there. I told you this funny story. I did not tell Stream. So if you want to hear any more of my pain to alleviate your own of watching the Dolphins game yesterday. So in my family league, I accidentally had the waivers set, instead of being to waivers reset every week, which is what we normally do and we agreed upon, I had it set to rolling waivers. So because my dad had the 10th overall pick, he had higher waiver priority than I did in the rolling waivers and was able to get Jordan Mason. I would have had Jordan Mason, and my running backs are abysmal in that league. I'm somehow 2-1 in that league. Actually, not officially yet 2-1, but probably going to be. In that league, my running backs consist of Javonte Williams.
Oof.
Bijan is good, but he had a bad week.
And he can't score touchdowns.
Yeah. I did pick up Cam Akers and plug him in for this week. Carson Steele I picked up recently. Tajay Spears. I did have Alexander Madison, or Ty Chandler, who I ended up dropping because I needed to pick up a kicker. But yeah, my running backs are abysmal in that league. But if you guys want to hear my my wide receivers, Garrett Wilson, Nico Collins, Rashee Rice, Brian Thomas, Keon Coleman, Mike Williams, Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton averaging like 10 targets a game. Love to see it. By the way, don't forget about our bet with Malik Neighbors.
What is it again?
I said that he would get over 100 receptions this year.
Yeah, they ain't looking great.
No, it's not.
Demand a nice shake on Mr. Jonathan Brooks.
I don't think you guys ever did that.
Because that would wash. I need to. We're going to talk later tonight. Like, so, man, Jonathan Brooks going to finish as a top 15 fantasy running back, right? Yeah, that one's not looking. Isn't Malik wide receiver 1 right now? Did I see that correctly?
Malik Neighbors is indeed wide receiver 1. You know what's funny about that?
What do you want for Tyreek Hill? Or what would you give me for Tyreek Hill?
Absolutely nothing right now.
Yeah.
I traded Malik Neighbors in another league. In our other dynasty league, ironically enough, I had Malik Neighbors, and I was kind of like I was getting the itch to trade, and I always end up doing bad trades when I do that. This one wasn't necessarily too bad. I traded Malik Neighbors for Roma Dunze and Chase Brown and a 3rd round pick. And I still
that ain't great.
Like, I still don't feel too hot about that because, but meanwhile, Rome does look really good right now, and he's only going to get better with Caleb. Keenan Allen has been out, so, there's that. And then on top of, you have Keenan Allen, don't you? Yeah. And then Chase Brown hasn't come up yet, but I still believe that he's going to end up being the running back 1 because Zach Moss has been awful this year.
Dude, Chase Brown's they're not letting him touch the ball.
Yeah, but I feel
he got me eliminated in my guillotine league because they didn't give him the ball. Ever.
I didn't understand a single word you said until he didn't get him the ball.
They did, bro, against the Chiefs, they just didn't give him the ball. Ever. Oh, man. I mean, not that would have made the biggest difference. Not that would have kept me in my fantasy league, but.
Okay, but you look at it this way. The Chiefs' defensive line has one of the best defensive lines. Bengals' offensive line sucks.
Yes.
So they didn't run the ball that much, and when they did, they're going to go with their running back that is probably going to get them, the harder yards, the ones that you got to, lean forward and get 1 or 2, and that's going to be Zach Moss. That's not who Chase Brown is. Chase Brown is like a poor man's HN. He's not a between the tackles, going to run you over type of dude. He's going to get you your speed plays, get in space, get yards.
There's a chance he just might not be good.
Chase Brown's good.
Tajay Spears is doing right now what Chase Brown would love to do. Tajay Spears is not getting a lot of touches, but every touch he's getting, he's doing something decently with. Hi, Liz. Thanks for watching. She likes Saquon a little bit better now. She was not acceptive of Saquon at first. Giant. I understand, but he goes to the Eagles. No, she's getting more on board after his game-winning touchdown yesterday, which I screamed I've screamed twice because of Saquon. Pause. One for good, one for bad. Yesterday, in the middle of a Hooters, I screamed during his 70-yard touchdown because helps me beat this guy here in fantasy. Last
Yeah,
week,
he's gonna beat me this week.
last
guys.
week, which my girlfriend who is watching can attest to, Saquon Barkley, third down, pass into the
Saquon.
flat, wide open, would have won me my fantasy matchup, would have won this gentleman not one, not two, but 3 fantasy matchups. Drops it. I screamed in my apartment, and then guess what happens? Falcons go down and score. Screws this guy over because Mr. Kirko decides to have the best drive of the season still.
Of his life. Forget the
Dear
season.
Lord,
of
just
his
dot,
life.
dot.
When has he ever done that in prime time?
Then my girlfriend hangs up because she's sad because the Eagles lost, and I'm like, you know what? I can't say nothing. Fair enough. Like I'd be pissed too.
You were pissed.
I was pissed. I made this fantasy league, right? I made every sit start decision that I made. That was a realistic sit start. You're reloading. Great. Every sit start decision that I had in that league last week, that's a decent. Okay. Are this is just I have to now?
Yes.
Great.
I didn't give you much.
You didn't. Every sit start decision I got wrong. I got my quarterback wrong because I think 3 weeks in a row I've got in this league, I've got 3 quarterbacks, start one. Every single time I've selected the worst quarterback of the 3 points wise. I got the quarterback position wrong. I started Isaiah Likely over Mark Andrews, got that wrong. I started Tony Pollard or Aaron Jones over Tony Pollard, got that wrong. And still Saquon Barkley, Saquilliam Barkinson can't catch a ball to the flat. My mental health goes down.
The funny thing is seeing all the Giants fans just laugh their asses off like they got rid of, we
could have told you, bro. We could have told
Could
you.
have told you that was gonna happen, bro. Tyrell. Could have told you. I've seen that before. What did they think was gonna happen, brother?
Dude, he's been the best player on the team. Like Jalen Hurts playing better. He's showing we're seeing him more athletic of himself than we did in week 1 and what we saw of him last year. Like, did he have a great game against the Saints? No. Did anybody on the field except for Kamara and Saquon have a great game? No. Dear, what else happened?
Derwin James got suspended.
What?
For without pay for 1 game for repeated violations, playing rules intended to protect players' safety. It was for a hit on Pat Freiermuth in the 3rd quarter.
Do you remember what that was?
No. I'm sure I'll get a video. Bro, it's just like flying through my phone right now.
The season so far has been
wild, bro.
Well, yes, but has been incredible for just screenshots of how did this happen. The Packers game was Emmanuel Wilson, I think it was, tries to hurdle a guy and he gets like caught and speared in midair. So we get a picture of a grown professional football player, a grown man in the middle of the air, like, right? Will Levis has had gem after gem after gem of, first it was the hands on the knees, like, no moment, like, oh, good heavens type energy, right? And then there's the, I'm on the ground, I'm chucking it backwards. And then there was just him getting sat on by a large man yesterday against the Packers. So Will Levis is a joke that keeps on, or is a gift that keeps on giving. You can always count on Will Levis to have a funny moment and somehow give the game away. Week 1, Will Levis, he did everything in his power. He did everything in his power to lose that game against the Bears. And to his credit, it worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
See, that's why I'm saying, like, Will Levis is so bad at football. Like, he has his moments. Like, he had that throw to D-Hop, and I didn't start D-Hop in that 1 league. Dang.
Yeah, well, eventually.
I still might win that league, but dang. But like it's things like what he does there. And he almost did it again. I think he had another like, it was a pick 6. Yeah, he threw a pick 6.
Oh yeah, Jair Alexander baited him so hard. You mean?
Mm-hmm.
When he's like, hey, this is cornerback 101. I'm going to play soft coverage in a position where the quarterback thinks he has a wide open throw. And on the moment of release, I am going to break towards my man, pick it off, and oh, guess what's right in front of me, 30 yards away? 6. What LaFleur is doing right now with the Packers is incredible. I mean, with Malik Willis, they're not a top 8 team in the league. Like, if they come against some serious competition, which they have not with Malik Willis. I mean, who did they play last week? I forget.
The Packers?
Colts. All right.
Packers didn't play the Colts. Packers played the Titans.
No. Last week?
Are you talking about, okay.
Yeah. Last week they played the Colts. This week they played the Titans, right? No one is proclaiming those are the greatest teams in the league, except for the fact that the Titans would be a playoff team if they just had a quarterback that wasn't doing his very best to give the ball away. What's going on, Jay? The Dolphins need a good backup quarterback.
Dolphins need a good quarterback.
We got to talk about the Dolphins again.
We were kind of just like talking about how bad Will Levis was. That was great for a moment. We need to talk about how bad the Dolphins are.
Well, Will Levis, what
Will Levis would be an upgrade.
What did Gage earlier say about Zach Wilson trade, a conditional 6th-round pick that can move to a 5th? Like, this is the conversation we're having.
Dude, Adam Schefter mentioned that. He said, he said, if I'm the Dolphins, I'm calling up the Broncos about Zach Wilson.
Well,
I'm like, look, Zach Wilson did look good in preseason, but I don't want Zach Wilson.
I guess we have some videos to make this week, unfortunately, talking about why we aren't or hopefully not trading for either Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Bryce Young, like Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
I would take Jimmy Garoppolo.
I would take Jimmy Garoppolo.
I'm not saying he's better than Tua. I'm saying I would take Jimmy Garoppolo.
No, 100%.
That man,
Tua's leaps and bounds better than all the quarterbacks.
Man is handsome.
Although I will say, seeing Tua on the sidelines.
Nothing.
What?
Carry on.
You said handsome.
I did.
Who cares?
You didn't agree.
He is.
It's a little sus. It's a little sus that you didn't agree.
He is handsome.
Carry on.
Who cares?
Carry on. A little sus.
The fact that we did see Tua on the sidelines is encouraging. It was. I'm not gonna say funny, but Adam Schefter.
This could go in one of two very, very different directions.
Adam Schefter said that Tua was supposed to meet with multiple neurologists last week, but the schedules got mixed up, and now he's going to see them this week.
That's the most Miami Dolphins thing. When your star player, highest paid player, when your quarterback gets hurt, they can't even figure out how to properly get him in front of doctors. Like, the Dolphins are so pathetic.
I think this is under his own volition. The Dolphins are encouraging him to see outside, counsel, because they don't want to have that biased decision of like, okay, this is the team doctor, the team wants you to continue playing. So kind of like that whole thing with the independent neurologist, got fired for clearing him in the Bills game. Yeah,
valid. Because are you like kind of acknowledging he got a concussion that game?
I never said that he didn't get a concussion. I'm saying it was so mild. I'm saying if he did get concussed, it was so mild to the point that he didn't show symptoms. That really was a back injury that he had that caused his back to lock up like that. That was. He came into that game with a back injury. People don't remember that.
You just told a lie. You 100% have denied, or you have 100% said that was not a concussion because, and you know why I know it?
You only ever hear the first half of what I say. I say it's probably not a concussion, but if it was a concussion, then it was so mild that he did not show any symptoms. And I've said that over and over and over again, but you never listen to the second half of what I say.
What is up, brothers?
Exactly. You see what I'm dealing with?
I just don't like listening to you talk sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's encouraging for our viewers.
I hope they like listening to you talk. I mean, I have to, respectfully, with love.
This is what makes our channel. I talk about this not too much, but I talk about it a lot. What makes our channel so great is that we have the two very opposite ends of the spectrum.
The Dolphins suck.
I mean, they do suck, but that's...
They were the 32nd best team in the league.
I don't know. I can't go there. I can't go there. I can't willingly go there yet. I will say I have talked about Mike McDaniel giving up play calling in the past, and I'm probably going to bring it up again a lot over the next couple weeks to a month to maybe more.
What was the video idea that you shot down by mine? Oh, he's a fraud.
He's a fraud. Because I think fraud is taking it too far.
Wait for that in your subscription boxes tomorrow. Because
that's going to be all him.
That's what we're talking about. If you missed the beginning of the stream and you didn't hear me yell about a lot of things, because I did, tomorrow.
This is going to be saved, so you can go watch this again after we're done.
Or tomorrow you're going to hear me basically call Mike McDaniel a fraud.
See, that's where I was like, I was a little too far. Like, I have much. That's not
words.
This
Words.
is why we do like 5 takes, or I do 5 takes of my.
Because I can't even help you with what you're about to say. I have no idea where you're going with that.
I had different topics I'd rather talk about than go as far to say as Mike McDaniel was a fraud. Like, I could say no one understood what you said because you just mumbled into the mic.
But he is. The levels of the microphone are high enough they can hear me.
So, there was play calling that was extremely sus and has been for the last year and a half. There is the offensive line that hasn't been addressed, which we talked about a little bit, but it is just horrible. And seeing Teron Armstead in pass protection is like watching a 2-year-old try to walk.
A 2-year-old who gets hurt when he wakes up. Yes. He sneezes himself into a back injury. You know what? I'm surprised it hasn't happened to him yet, because there has been guys that have done that. Just call him Samuel L. Jackson because he's Mr. Glass. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Who I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. What's the next words, Donovan?
Sorry, Miss Jackson.
Great song. Shout out to Outkast. Great. That was great input.
Great song.
That was great input. That was fantastic input. Any chances the Commanders or Jags win tonight?
Jags, I do believe, have a strong chance to win. They just offensively got to get their head out of their ass. Their defense has been playing pretty well. And I do believe Josh Allen has had Josh Allen's number for a while.
Hey.
Because remember the last time the Jags played Buffalo? I believe it was in London, but Josh Allen just absolutely he had 4 sacks and an interception on Josh Allen?
Sir, it's Josh Hines Allen. Get it correct. L ratio bozo.
No, he's Josh Allen the first. Josh Allen the second's on the Bills.
Get wrecked, kid. If the Jags, which they probably will, the Jags lose, I'm not saying they're worse than us by any means. But they might be the only fan base in the country that has a right to be more upset and pissed than we are as Dolphins fans. Now, obviously, going up to Buffalo, okay, let me preface this with saying, the nature of the loss matters extremely. Look, if you're going toe-to-toe with Josh Allen and it's a 28-27 final and, your kicker missed a game-winning kick, completely different conversation. If the Bills do to them in which they did to us before Tua decided that he wanted to be a bull and that Damar Hamlin was a perfectly good red blanket to run into, before Tua did that, how we were playing. If that's what the Bills do today to the Jaguars and that's what the final score looks like, then Jags fans, I'll pass you this because you're going to need a few more of these. Because if that's how the Jags look after how they lost to us, which by that I mean a complete collapse in the second half. Last week, you lost to a team that this week lost to the Giants. You looked horrible. What are we looking at? Oh, Derwin James hurting somebody? That seems a bit aggressive. Oh, that's fun. Anywho, why did you have to say that after I said that's fun? Why? Why'd you have to say that?
You haven't said worse things on stream.
Last week, actually, I didn't because you forgot to hit go live. Anywho.
Yeah.
I get that. I get that.
Kareem Jackson had the same thing last year.
if you are the Jags, again, complete second half collapse to us. Now the honorary worst team in the league.
Only team to not hold the lead this entire season.
Miami Dolphins. If you then go up to Cleveland and make Deshaun Watson look like Deshaun Watson of old, not even really, like make him look mediocre, but still they somehow get a win. God knows how that happened. Trevor Lawrence deciding that every wide receiver he has is miraculously 12 feet tall, because that's where he's aiming. He's aiming as if his wide receivers, like Anthony Richardson's throw yesterday. I will highlight this time and time again. I think I've talked about it like 7 times since it happened. All right, what are we going to do, bros? We're going to leave a las mas in I don't know. Going to go eat good food very soon after this. That's the only way to make us happy. Drink water, kids. Anthony Richardson missing a throw into the flat that is the most rudimentary, most elementary throw in the world, where Josh Downs goes in motion from the right side of the field and does a 3-yard out route for a first down. And 2 Josh Downs worth wouldn't have caught it. And obviously they get off the field afterwards. Trevor Lawrence did that like every throw last week, where he just decided that his receivers are up there and just overthrew everybody. And that's what he's actually done for 2 years. And I know you're gonna say you're gonna give me crap because last year I said Trevor Lawrence is better than Tua. I understand now. Okay, I get it.
I was never going to actually bring that up, but now that you did,
I saw a smirk. I just saw something.
I was gonna say there's a good reason that they brought in a 6'4" receiver that runs a 4.3.
And he's still getting overthrown, I'm sure, tonight.
Hopefully not too much, because I need him to get 20 points.
He's getting overthrown. If you see those 2 things happen, again, most importantly, losing to the honorably worst team in the league, and then also losing to a team that just lost to the Giants. If you then lose to the Bills by 30 points, by 20 points, by 15 points, if Trevor Lawrence has 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, if Travis Etienne fumbles on the goal line again, whatever on God's green earth goes wrong with the Jacksonville Jaguars that has gone wrong with them the last few games, if that happens again tonight, I bid you adieu and say, Jacksonville Jaguars, you can take this hat. Can I have this dance? You are officially deserving of, as fans, Liz, why are you messaging Donovan? As fans, you deserve to take the mantle of the most depressed fans in the league. That is, if that happens, which I am predicting that to happen today. I think Josh Allen is just going to say, and score like 3 or 4 touchdowns, 2 of which by sacrificing his own body at will, because he does that every single time they're in the red zone. They get to the 5-yard line, and Josh Allen just says, I think he's going to do that a bunch tonight. I got Bills 28-10.
See, I actually have the Jags winning tonight.
That's crazy.
I don't think the Bills are as good as people make them out to be. I understand that they put an absolute work on us last week, but most of that was our own doing. And I've talked about that a lot. I've talked about how the two of the 3 interceptions were on backup wide receivers who are no longer on the team. Well, granted, Bo's technically still on, but he's on IR. Robbie got cut, and then the other turnover on downs. Okay. And then the turnover on downs that led to the James Cook touchdown was a 4th and 7 that we should not have gone for, but we couldn't convert that anyway. So that led to another score. So I said 24 of their 31 points were off of turnovers, including the turnover on downs. I'm counting that as a turnover because it's midfield. And I just don't think they were that good. And then week 1, they kind of struggled against the Cardinals, who have a really bad defense. And they got exposed a little bit in the first half on their defense. Given that they put up in the second half, they made the correct adjustments. But I believe that the Jags can put a full game together because they need to. I believe they're 0-2.
Oh, they are. Did you not listen? You were getting on me about listening to. Did you not listen to a word I just said? They lost to us, and then they lost to the team that just lost to the Giants.
Oh yeah, they lost to the Browns. Yeah, I do remember that now. But yeah, so they're 0-2. They're in desperate need of a win. I feel like they're gonna finally put it together here on Monday night. It's weird how the Bills are going from a Thursday night game to an extra long week to a Monday night.
Yeah, I mean that's certainly great for them. If you're a Bills fan, you're like, oh wow, like we get to have the longest time off a team could possibly have. fan-freaking-tastic. I'll take that all day long. Longest outside of a bye week, of course. Look, the Bills just find a way, especially in the regular season. They just find a way to be a top 2 or 3 seed once the seasons come to an end.
But they also always have those 1 or 2 just what the f*** are you doing games.
They do, but the Jaguars are that as a franchise, though.
Yeah, but
we're talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jags have 1 or 2 of those what the F are you doing games, but in a good way. And I believe that's just one of those games tonight. Now, given it's kind of a blind hope for me also because I need Brian Thomas to do well.
Yeah, that's why you're biased.
But
He's biased.
It's a tad biased. Lo-fi Titans.
No, I want to look what he first said. Go back and watch the Hard Knocks and look out at the Carnival show. I 100% agree with that. We got to see last year how just soft and non-serious this team is within closed doors. We got full access to that. There's no toughness. There's no expectations put upon this team other than show up, have a good time, guys. Let's go throw the ball downfield, and hopefully we can do that 17 times, and hopefully we can win. It's just such a joke of a team, yet you cannot take serious if you're an opponent lining up against them on Sundays because all you have to do is push back your safeties 5 yards, push back your linebackers 2 yards, play cover 2 shell, and that's how you win every week against us. Just be tough. Be well coached. Let us commit penalties. I think we've spent 9 of our 18 allotted timeouts because we can't get the play call off correctly. Week 1, I think we used 4 or 5. Last week we used, 2 or 3. And then yesterday we used 2. I don't know what math that is. I'm going to say it's 9. I'm going to say that we use 50% of our timeouts because we can't get the play call off correctly. You know what that is, Donovan? It's a lack of discipline. You know what the holding penalties are? You know what the illegal formation penalties are? You know what all these other stupid penalties that we keep racking up are? You know what it is? Say it.
It's a lack of discipline.
It's a lack of discipline.
And I'm going to 100% agree with you there. I'm also going to add on a little bit that, all the offensive penalties. Julian Hill has had a lot of offensive penalties. I understand. A lot of offensive penalties himself. Just himself. Him and Durham Smythe, probably the most 2 penalized people on the team. And they come off the field after getting a holding call or a formation penalty, and they're like, huh, what? And they're angry about the call. It's like, brother, watch the tape. You held way too long, and it's a clear penalty. You can't complain about that. You have to just be better. And I like Julian Hill, but, he's been penalized. Durham Smythe has been awful this season. Awful this season.
Dude.
It is not talked about enough. He has been dog water.
I mean,
I love Durham Smythe. You like Durham Smythe because
moderately
that's why I said and he's just been dog water. He has 4 targets this year, 4 drops.
Yep.
4 drops.
Did he drop a touchdown yesterday?
He dropped a touchdown that was a dot from Tim Boyle.
That was not on my bingo card 2 months ago.
Bro, Tim Boyle threw a dot that would have brought it to a 1-score game. They got down there, and I'm like, with Tim Boyle, mind you, and I'm like, don't give me hope. Don't give me hope.
Tim Boyle, right?
Tim Boyle.
How many interceptions did he have in college?
26.
26. How many touchdowns did he have in 3 years at UConn?
13.
Touchdowns.
Oh, touchdowns. 2, 1.
1. He had 1 touchdown in 3 years at UConn. How many interceptions did he have in his time?
13.
13. Yeah. Okay. That's the guy who led us downfield.
He led us downfield with D. Eskridge at that. With D. Eskridge, bro. 2nd-round pick from the Seahawks, and a dot in your hands. All you have to do is tuck it and hold it into the ground. Joe could have made that catch.
Lo-Fi, did I see you say we're going to get Tim Tebow? That would be awesome. That would be awful. That would be awesome. Imagine? Dude, we would for sure just be the meme team at that point. We already aren't taken seriously across the NFL. The Bills pity us, right? When we play the Bills, they look at us as aw. I understand a player gets hurt.
Jordan Poyer said it. He said that when he looked at the team, and he spoke very honestly in the offseason, the Bills looked at the Dolphins as a non-physical team who they can bully around, and that was their mentality of us last year And that was probably their mentality of us this year. Because guess what? They goddamn did it.
And it's probably going to be the next time we play them, and the next time. Is Brian Flores available for a head coach position?
See, I'm still not sold on Brian Flores as a head coach.
Run it back. I'm ready. I
texted you. I'm like, can we have co-head? I'm making fun of Flores for having co-offensive coordinators. I said, can we have co-head coaches? Mike McDaniel just takes care of the offense, and then Brian Flores takes care of the defense, and we'll be freaking set. Now, given we haven't had a bad defense under Mike McDaniel, I believe the worst defense was under Josh Boyer, but even then, that was still a somewhat good defense. And this year, it's still a somewhat good defense. But this offense has just severely regressed over the last year and a half.
Hear me out. Brian Flores, obviously, let's say Brian Flores got what he wants. Brian Flores, Justin Herbert, top 5 defense on the other side. Tyreek Hill, I think Tyreek Hill still would have happened because I think that was mostly a Chris Greer thing. Like, Chris Greer was 90% there.
That was, so, what was it? Chris Greer called Mike McDaniel to say,
exactly.
Hey, we're getting Tyreek Hill. Are you cool? He's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he basically had the deal not done, but done. No, you need the wink, wink, nod from the coach. Like, okay, yeah, let's do it. He let Mike McDaniel watch some tape and stuff like that. Let him do his due diligence. Brian Flores, Justin Herbert, top 5 defense, Tyreek Hill. Are we not winning the Super Bowl?
The only problem with that entire thing. Who is the offensive coordinator? Chan Gailey?
Let me do it. I think you'll be fine.
Obviously, the co-offensive coordinators, Eric Studsville.
No, that was stupid.
And who else was? I can't even remember. Stupid. But like Chan Gailey, stupid hire. His best offensive coordinator.
Hires Mosi. There we go.
The best offensive coordinator that he had in that, I wouldn't even trust Mike McDaniel as OC. I like Mike McDaniel as a head coach. He needs to give up play calling. He's not a play caller. He's a play designer, and he is a. Meanwhile, he's not a like rah like Dan Campbell leader of men. He is a leader of men because of his relationship with his players. And that's as far as I'm gonna go. Like it's just what it is.
After 3 weeks of football, what do you think the worst? What do you guys think is ranked last in the league? I'll give you a hint. Their logo's on screen. And it's not the Yankees. And it's not Way Too Quick Racing. Go buy his merchandise over at Etsy. Etsy. Go buy his T-shirts. He has some cool Florida Panthers T-shirts over there.
I do.
Yeah, the worst team in the NFL today is on his head. With Tua?
With Tua.
Top 20.
I still put us in the top half.
I thought you were going to say top 10, and I was going to throw this microphone through your window.
I don't know enough about other teams right now to put us in the top 10. Given a lot of good teams are like terrible right now. The 49ers, given they have a lot of injuries, but so do we. Ravens are 1 and 2.
But the Ravens are the Ravens, like, dude.
They almost gave up another fourth quarter.
They did. But everything up until the fourth quarter is exactly what I predicted that game was going to be. The Ravens, with a better coach, a better quarterback, a better defense, were just going to have their way. And then they did. And then Todd Monken just said, I don't know what to do right now. And then the offense stalled, and the defense just kept getting back on the field. And Brandon Aubrey is the best kicker in the league, so of course he gets an onside kick, the first one of the season, the first time with a new declaration of the onside kick. Who thought that was going to be a thing? You have to decide that. So bizarre.
That was a beautiful onside kick.
Oh my goodness! Because
it was gorgeous,
bro. I think I'm like 97% sure it was Zay Flowers. He's just there like. How do I catch this? And it bounced off his chest and squibs to the side and easily recovered by the Cowboys.
So the thing is that it has to travel. A lot of people were. I saw a lot of people on Twitter like, "Oh, refs bailed out the Cowboys, whatever, because the ball didn't travel 10 yards." It's either it travels 10 yards or the receiving team touches it.
What moron was saying that?
A lot of people.
I mean, bro. Twitter. I understand Twitter's Twitter.
So many people, bro.
I understand Twitter's Twitter, but what moron said that? Tennessee's 0-3. Look, Cap. If Will Levis just decides
Tennessee's the better team right now.
If Will Levis just says, you know what, guys, he gets in front of the team. He said, guys, can we hold real quick? Can we circle around? All right, coach, I got this. Guys, I'm bad at football. I'm making a decision right now to stop being bad at football. I promise you from today on, I'm not going to be bad at football. If he does that, Tennessee's a playoff team.
If they play Mason Rudolph at any point, that's a playoff team. Mason Rudolph's better than Will Levis. Mason Rudolph, with those weapons in that offense, you have Chiggy, Calvin Ridley, D-Hop.
Why is Chiggy the first one you said? Why is Chiggy the first one out of your mouth? He has 3 catches all season, I think.
Say. He's still a weapon.
Say his first name correctly.
Chigozium.
Chigozium. I maybe Chigozium.
Okonkwo.
Yeah, there you go. Tennessee is 0-3. I understand that, but if Will Levis just doesn't, what he did in that Chicago Bears game, they should have arrested him on the spot. That is game.
That was bad.
That is match fixing. What he did in that game against the Bears.
He pulled a Calvin Ridley.
He pulled a Calvin Ridley.
He's on the same
check
team.
Underdog. Check underdog. Check sleeper. Check the Hard Rock Bet app when he gets down here in Florida. There is going to be a Lil Wevis 8 that signs up on Underdog or in Hard Rock Bet when they come down here. Underdog.
It's going to be Gia Duddy 6.
Number 8 on the. Never mind.
Tennessee. What was that?
Tennessee is 0-3, but they're a really good football team. Like, I trust their coach. The fact that their coach game 1 basically said our quarterback is an idiot and that's why we lost. He had all my respect immediately. After
I love Brian Callahan. Question for you: top what defense?
Titans?
Yeah. I think they're top 5. They did just lose a big piece of their defense to injury. I believe it was their defensive tackle, not Simmons, the other one. But
excuse me.
They were a top 5 defense going into yesterday.
That's the thing though. Going into yesterday, and also they bled points even before like the offense was really crumbling. Like Malik Willis's first 2 drives, perfection.
The problem. So that was that this week? That was this week. Like you don't really have too much tape on Malik Willis. Like
he was in the building
in the Green Bay's offense.
You still know what Will Levis Malik Willis is and what he's not.
What Matt or Mike? I forget which one. Because there's the Mike. He has brothers Mike, I think. Okay, so Matt LaFleur. What Matt LaFleur did with the play calling with Malik Willis, like absolutely lovely stuff that he did. Like he converted more run plays for him. There was still easy pass plays. It's something that a certain coach in Miami could have done. Didn't do.
That's too much to ask.
Oh, you mean adjustments?
Yeah, it's too much to ask. Successful adjustments.
Successful adjustments.
You take away Will Levis. Think Will Levis is just an inanimate object because he is. He is, as the kids say, a cone, right? Running back duo, Tajay Spears, Tony Pollard, right? Receiving options, DeAndre Hopkins now looks like he's 100% fully healthy. Calvin Ridley is just going to make an ungodly catch every now and then, right? Defense on the other side, one of the best defensive tackles in the league, one of the best corners in the league, one of the best middle linebackers in the league with Jamal Adams. It's just you really didn't stop me on that one? On the Jamal Adams, one of the best middle linebackers in the league? You didn't just...
No,
anyway,
he is one of the best middle linebackers in the league, bro.
Just there's so much to like about that team. And then Will Levis just says, hey, Jair, here you go, bud. Have this. I think we lose next week in Tennessee.
I'm not saying that we're going to win. I'm not saying that we're going to lose. I'm saying take the under. I think it's going to be a heavily defensive game, and it's going to be on which quarterback makes the least amount of mistakes. And we don't even know who our quarterback's going to be. We know it's not going to be Tua, and we know it's not going to be Skyler.
Can it be Talia?
Dog, I would take Talia right now.
Dude.
On God, I would take Talia.
So
I thought about it. Don't tempt me.
So I love like the idea of like, let's say in the off season there was no Ian Rappaport, there was no Adam Schefter, there was no Wojnarowski, right? We have no idea.
R.I.P. Woj. Wojbombs at least.
Wojbombs for sure. The last Wojbomb was he Wojbombed himself, right? That's epic. I almost tackled him. Fun fact: one time I almost accidentally tackled him inside of Madison Square Garden. I almost tripped and like literally just to Adrian Wojnarowski one time, but I did not do that. Right. What were we talking about again? This is the first time it's happened.
He was talking about if there was no reporters to break news.
Yes. I got it.
Okay, you got it. You're back on track.
Yeah. Matt, so we have no idea what goes on until the game unfolds, right? Imagine Monday Night Football, right? Twan Armstead, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and your quarterback, number 18, Talia Tagovailoa. Bro, what?
I would go nuts. I would be
imagine,
like, let's go.
And then somebody who is somehow smaller than Tua walks out.
Are you going to be at the game Monday?
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay.
For how long, we shall see. Can we trade Sam Darnold to the Titans? I mean, for what? For like what? A plane ticket? Is he worth his plane ticket to Tennessee?
Who?
Skylar Thompson. Can we trade Skylar to the Titans?
Bro, no. Look, I said it best when he was a rookie in preseason. We knew he wasn't going to be the backup. We knew he was going to be third string. We didn't even know if he was going to make roster at that point. I said, trade him now for a 5th, 4th round pick.
Yeah.
Because he had the best preseason that anybody has seen in like 2 or 3 years. And we already had Tua. So we're like, okay, let's trade him. And they had inquiries too.
Yeah.
I believe Chris Greer said that they were offered a 5th round pick for him at one point. Take the 5th round pick and run.
They should have. And speaking of running, that's what we're going to do, guys. Thank you for episode number 2. They like boneheaded quarterbacks, shouldn't they? You know what? Fair enough, they do. You know, that'd be a wombo combo. Will Levis, Skylar Thompson. Who could do more stupid stuff in a game, right? Well,
we might get Tim Boyle and Will Levis, so that's going to be...
Skylar Thompson, time's running out in the second quarter. Why are you just standing at the line of scrimmage? Anyways, also, what was the play call?
Don't get me started.
Anyways, why wasn't that a Hail Mary? Anyways, guys, thank you for watching episode 2 of Dolphins Social. Back-to-back depression-filled episodes. If you missed any of it, please feel free to go back through the rest of the episode. We will have some episodes coming out later this week, not from this, but topics that we talked about in here. We will expand upon in some more individuals, non-yelling, non-alcohol-induced takes that may have been slightly more exaggerated. Shout out to Crown Peach. Shout out to Arizona Mucho Mango. Not sponsored. Please sponsor us. We love you, Smoochies. Thank you guys for watching. If you have not done so already, even though I know these beautiful people down here in the comments, Lo-Fi, Cat for Life, Jay, what's up, Gage? What's up, everybody listening in? Liz, Smoochies, actually for real Smoochies. Appreciate all of y'all very much for watching. I know y'all have already... what'd you say?
I said hope, Smoochies. No.
Liz, you heard that. Liz, you heard. Anyways, thank y'all very much for watching. We will see y'all next Monday, same time. I'll be hitting y'all with a video tomorrow. But till then, have a great rest of your day. I hate the Miami Dolphins.
I also hate the Miami Dolphins.